Take your business to the next level. Call our Director of Sales, Jim McLean, today at 609-910-5247.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
Touchdown!
Sixers, and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Philly. What's happening, buddy?
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, South Jersey, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here. 97.3 ESPN. It's a Sunday morning. Hey, Pete, the sun's out.
Billy, not only is the sun out, it is a comfortable level for the PT. It's not that air you can wear that the meteorologists talk about.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is after yesterday's rain. And so we didn't get as much as we thought, and the night was nice.
Still a dreary day,
but
for the most
I
part.
got to tell you, this is
you don't even have your towel around your neck.
I had it coming in, but I really didn't need it. You know what I mean? And we're going to get that air, of course, later. I've got a big. I'm playing in a golf tournament on Wednesday.
You're gonna melt,
and it's just
there's nothing worse than playing golf when it's like 98 and the humidity's oppressive, and you're out there swinging the clubs. I don't enjoy that.
Right, and people sometimes will say to me like, boy, you don't take a lot of practice swings, or why don't you take a lot of practice swings? I mean, if you're going to shoot 100 or 104 and you take one practice swing every time you set up, that's 208. You take two, that's 312, right? I don't want to exert that much energy. I'm saving it for the swing.
Well, I'm waiting for the summer to really heat up on the beach. You know, I was coming in here, I was listening to the ESPN feed, and you talk about watching Wimbledon and golf and everything, but in the summertime, you don't have that much time. You want to spend some time on the beach, on the boardwalk. So I can only get the Phillies in. And thank God the Phillies are playing well, because I enjoyed yesterday's game, albeit a pitching duel for the most part. It was really incredibly cool to see Kyle Gibson pitch really well, and I enjoyed that, Pete. And how about the move Robbie Thompson makes by delaying his start for one day?
Well, there's a whole lot to that, by the way. And Jim Salisbury asked the right question afterwards. First of all, Kyle Gibson, that was the good Kyle Gibson. He'd been struggling a little bit.
His last two starts.
7 innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. He threw 84 pitches, 54 of them for strikes. That's a good strike-to-ball ratio. It's his second start this season with 7 innings and no earned runs, and it drops the season ERA to 4.53. So Kyle Gibson was really, really good. Alec Boehm, again, was the difference. I mean, in a different sort of form. Yeah, you're fixating on the fact that he threw that ball away. He made the defensive play of the game early.
Yeah, that's correct. That is true.
They don't call it the hot corner for nothing. Plus, you weren't complaining when Alec Boehm goes boom the night before, right? Or as Ben Davis said, boom goes the dynamite.
Well, listen, we got a great show lined up today, because each and every Sunday we go on the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment.
Tommy will get the chance to tell us about the pitching, the bullpen, and the bullpen's been lights out for the last 10 games.
The bullpen's been unbelievable. Fact that, and they put this graphic up the other day, the Phillies bullpen, or the Phillies actually pitching rotation as a whole, has gotten into the top 10 in ERA in the National League. Do you know who the leader is? Like the best pitching top to bottom in the NL? What team has the best pitching top to bottom?
I would have to say the Braves.
I'm sorry. This
No,
is
Dodgers.
This is MLB. This is complete MLB. I said NL, but then I looked at the list again. But you said the team.
The Dodgers or the Braves?
The Dodgers are number one completely in the Major League Baseball. Do you know who 2 is?
I said Braves, but I think you're
the Braves are 6.
Okay.
So you got one out of the top 10, but I'm trying to see if you can get 2.
Oh, are the Phillies in the top 10 now?
The Phillies are now 10, yes,
right,
with a 3.76 overall ERA. Let's just see if you can get 2.
The Yankees.
That is correct. 2.95.
Yankees have been playing really well.
You want the list real quick? Dodgers 1, Yankees 2, 2.95. Astros at 3.00. The Rays, everybody always forgets about the Rays, 3.26. The Padres, 3.55. There's your Braves, 3.59. Mariners, 3.62. The Twins. When's the last time you paid attention to a Minnesota Twins game?
Twinkies.
When, what was it? When Kirby Puckett was there, 3.70. Paul Molitor. Milwaukee Brewers, 3.74. And the Phillies, 3.76. That was your ERA leaders. But I'll tell you what, it's like you just discovered this for the first time. I love how you tell the intern Vince, by the way, oh yeah, I do a lot of show prep. You got to prep for the show. And then you go, Nick Nelson starting. I'm thinking like, dude, did you watch post game yesterday? Like, how is this a surprise to you?
Oh, actually, I was taking my mom back to the shores.
They had
so
listed,
I didn't get a chance to watch.
First of all, on the Phillies notes on,
but that's why I have an intern now, so he can do my my legwork.
Good excuse.
Vince is in here.
Christopher Sanchez. Yes, he went to a great school, the best college out there. Temple University. Way to go, Vince. Christopher Sanchez. First, they listed it as TBD. Then they listed Christopher Sanchez. Now they've listed it as Nick Nelson. And Nick's going to go they'll get like 2 innings out of it, right? It's one of those bullpen games. But then remember, Billy,
he's 3-1 with a 4.17 ERA.
This is a weird series because they're there again tomorrow.
Right.
So they play one more game tomorrow, too. So, I mean, it's just sort of a strange.
And then hour 2, we're going to talk with a former Wildwood Beach Patroller, former Wildwood Lifeguard, Don Rankin. He's going to be doing the Bend to the Shore bike tour.
Oh, nice.
In honor and memory of Norman Inferrera.
Okay.
The 16-year-old lifeguard from
K-Man. I do
that
remember that story.
That died in that terrible accident.
Good.
While he was on duty.
That's a cause that I can 100% get behind.
So we'll talk to Donovan in hour 2. And, that's a 65-mile trek from the Ben Franklin Bridge to Atlantic City.
I mean, you could barely make it from one end of Ocean City
I ride my bike almost every day on the Ocean City boardwalk.
But you're huffing and puffing.
That's what I want to do. I want to get
Liza Grace not getting any smaller. You're like, what's this weight on the back? It's killing me.
PT, Robbie Thompson's been making. He looks pretty good. He's been making some great moves. The way he straightened out the pitching rotation and the way he's doing the way he is controlling the bullpen, bullpen by committee. He's hitting all the right buttons, PT.
Well, I think one of the things that Tommy Greene will probably talk about, and I've heard Ricky Batalico talk about as well, is the fact that, baseball players and athletes are generally like creatures of habit, right? And remember, where the Phillies bullpen has had the greatest success, what happened in 2008? What was the reason for their success in 2008? You had the
Brad Lidge.
Yeah, but the bridge to Lidge, right?
That's right.
You remember the players that led up to him?
Absolutely. Romero.
Right. He was in the he was in the 7th.
And then Ryan Madsen.
That's correct.
And then
that was your bridge to Lidge.
Bridge to Lidge.
Right. So all you had to do was get 6 innings out of your starter.
Scott Air.
Yeah, I mean, they had other arms out there, sure. But I'm just talking about the fact that athletes like knowing their role and defined roles. Now, the thing I think that's interesting is who closed the game yesterday?
Corey Knebel.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe Robbie Thompson's doing such a good job and Cale Cotham, the
what were you thinking, Pete?
They've resurrected Corey Knebel's, because he was as bad could get.
Now, Pete, what were you thinking when you saw Bohm throw the ball into right field?
I thought absolutely they were going to blow it. Right. And that's Phillies. That's really where we should have started the show, that you have Phillies teams in the past that would have lost that game.
Right.
Hands down, they would have lost that game. And they didn't. And they didn't because they were able to overcome Bohm's mistake. And,
I mean, look at Knebel. He goes 9 pitches against Arenado.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty. That was people that don't like pitching duels, like younger generation, probably doesn't have the patience to watch that. I thought that was there was a lot of drama in that game.
I thought the umpire was squeezing
despite the low score.
The first one. Yeah, no, there was a ton of drama in the game. It was another shutout. Oh, I meant to tell you that one too. This one came up, and this is unbelievable. When I saw this, I was like, are you kidding me? Right? It was about shutouts, okay? The Phillies have 4 shutout wins in a 6-game span for the first time, Billy, since August of 1969.
Wow.
Additionally, they've held the Cardinals scoreless for 27 straight innings. It is their longest scoreless streak against St. Louis in a 36-inning streak. Oh, since a 36-inning streak in 1944. Okay, so, I mean, the Phillies are getting it done. By the way, Kevin Cooney tweeted out that the Phillies now have tiebreakers over the Padres, the Cardinals, and the Brewers. In other words, 3 of the 5 teams that are figuring into the wild card hunt, and you still would have to consider Atlanta and San Francisco,
sure,
in that wild card hunt. So 3 of the 5, the Phillies have the tiebreakers over. So it's a good time to be a fan of the Philadelphia Phillies.
And if you look at the NL East, I mean, the Mets at 53 and 32, 6-4 in their last 10. They're getting their 2. They got Schwarber or what's it?
Oh, you're talking about DeGrom and
Scherzer back,
right?
Scherzer,
but
Schwarber,
220, 221, whatever it takes.
But the Braves, Braves are hot. Can't stop the Braves. 7-3 in their last 10.
The biggest, and the thing
so
about
while we're playing well, they're still continuing their pace.
When the Phillies went on their torrid streak, the only team that was better than them was the Atlanta Braves. Look, it helps where they are. I mean, they're playing who they're playing. They're playing the Nationals right now. But you're sitting here thinking like, this is great. The Phillies are doing well in St. Louis against a good Cardinals team. Well, guess what? The Braves beat the Cardinals 3 out of 4 as well. The Cardinals are really struggling right now.
And then as we move along in the show today, we'll get a lot of Flyers talk in here because the Flyers, I like their draft. I told you before the show started, and I said it yesterday. And in my article on 97.3ESPN.com every Friday, that the Flyers organization must be listening to the locker room with Billy Schwein, because my mantra, big guys beat up on little guys. They've done nothing but draft guys over 6'3".
I got no problem with Cutter Gauthier, right? Cutter Gauthier is a one that I like. I understand that pick. I have absolutely no problem with that. On draft night, Sam Carchidi put out a tweet talking about the fact that they selected Cutter Gauthier instead of the right-handed D-man David Urachek, and that seems to indicate that they aren't as concerned about Ryan Ellis's long-term health. He put that out at 10 o'clock on Thursday night, draft night. Well, guess what? By the next day, about afternoon the next day, guess what they've done? Traded for Tony DeAngelo and sent the internet a Twitter because
everybody's going crazy over that.
They're going nuts over this.
But let me just point out, their first round pick, 6'3", 190. Their third round pick, 6'3", 191. Their fifth round pick, 6 foot, 194. Sixth round pick, 6'3", 207. And their seventh round pick, 6'4", 194. Big guys beat up on little guys.
Yeah,
I love it.
And who was that?
A couple of those guys.
That was an Andy Reid quote back in the day.
That's right. It's a Schweiner quote now.
Oh, so you're just incorporating his quote?
All right. Hey, the intern wants me to remind you that you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Can I call him the intern?
The intern? I mean, that's so rude.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
He's an integral part of the team.
He's the second time in the studio with me. He's got to earn his name and recognition.
Good Lord. What is this, the Army or prison camp? I mean, what are you doing here?
I'll just have fun.
Devin Kaplan is 6'2", 199.
Check out my Instagram page at LockerRoom973.
And
I'm trying to promote. Like when you go on the Gill Show, you go on the Sports Bash, you never even promote your show.
I told you I'm a very easily trainable guy. Text me before I go on, and I know you're listening there, rabbit ears.
The intern Vince here started telling me.
He says, "Remember, don't forget." And you go, "Oh yeah, I always forget."
Follow me on Instagram at LockerRoom973 and on Twitter at LockerRoom973. Thanks, Vince.
Would you like to know why I love their 5th round pick, Alex Bump?
Tell me later, because we have to do some business. The first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep in your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road, or if you're away for the winter, you're in Florida or Hawaii, let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This weekend on Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
AGE, clean nose, healthy life. Nature Valley has helped restore access to 10,000 miles of national park trails, and we're on our way to restoring even more because every mile is a new memory. Life happens out there. Nature Valley.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in The Locker Room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, intern Vince Tooley with us today. We're streaming live on my YouTube channel, The Locker Room Billy Schwein, and my Facebook page, Billy Schwein PT.
That's his last name, Tooley?
Tooley, Vince Tooley.
Man,
and,
he's one letter off from being the coolest truck ever. A dually.
The Phillies are 4-1 against the Cardinals with 2 games remaining this year. Then they head to Miami, where they play the.
Are you stupid?
Oh no, Toronto. I'm sorry, Toronto.
I mean,
I made a Jesus. You hop on me. I corrected myself. It's Toronto, then Miami. Easy.
I mean, I tell you right when we're coming back from the break.
Man.
I tell you right when we're coming from the break. We're going to talk about Kyle Gibson and why they switched his start. You think that would resonate in your head?
Toronto, then Miami. Go ahead, Pete.
All right. Well, first of all, my friend John is in from California, but he grew up here.
Okay.
And he's listening. He said, listen, Thompson sets his bullpen against different parts of the lineup, not by inning. It's different, but effective. And John makes an excellent point because Dan from EHT also texted in on the text message board, 609-403-0973. You can text the show, 609-403-0973. He said, isn't it interesting that the bullpen success is all coming post-Girardi, 2+ years under Girardi, and the bullpen was especially bad, epically bad. The difference I see is pitchers attacking the strike zone and not walking guys. Well, yeah, that's a pretty simple way of putting it, too.
So Girardi didn't want them attack the zone? Like, what could possibly be the difference? I mean,
no, I think that I spoke about it in the last segment. I think the biggest thing is that guys know what their roles are and they know what they're coming in. And then another thing too is like, look, Alvarado was so bad they sent him down to the minors. And
now he's pitching.
Alvarado and Sir Anthony Dominguez are both, dare I say it, lights out. I mean, Alvarado is almost unhittable, and Sir Anthony's got filthy stuff.
He's bringing it 100 miles an hour. It's fastball.
All right, to the Gibson thing. I watched postgame. I know you didn't. Right?
No, I did.
But I watched postgame, and in the postgame thing, Gibson was talking about his success. He was talking about because they switched the schedule, he got an extra day off to kind of do some side work. Like, it really helped him yesterday.
Right.
But Jim Salisbury said, so are you not available for Toronto? And he said, no, because I'm unvaccinated. And that's something that Rob Thompson said he was going to be addressed, and he hasn't yet. Maybe today in the pregame availability, it'll be addressed on what they're going to do in Toronto. But the reason he's unvaccinated, like a lot of the times when I heard like guys were unvaccinated last year, I had like no patience for that because I was like, come on, man, get the shot. Well, Gibson has autoimmune disease, ulcerative colitis. I mean, that's a legitimate reason not to get the shot then. I mean, if the shot's going to hurt you instead of help you, I understand that. That one I can't really, I'm not going to rip Kyle Gibson, but that's why they switched it. That's why, I mean, the fact that Zach Eflin's not back yet, and he actually dropped in his comments, he said something like, Zach Eflin's close to coming back. So maybe at some point, whether it's in Toronto or
Miami.
Yes, maybe then they get Zach Eflin back and solidify their starting rotation.
So I dropped off my mom. That's why I missed the post-game show.
Over at the Shores?
Then I hit yesterday's. I was on my way down to Wildwood last night. I went to the inlet. My my co-workers from U.S. Airways.
Wow, they still remember you?
Jimmy Reardon and T-Bone down there in Wildwood. We went to the inlet. That place was rocking last night.
Jimmy Reardon? T-Bone? Do you know T-Bone's real name?
No.
That's funny. No, I know.
Tom.
Yeah.
Well, I just met him.
Yeah. Now,
Fran McIntyre, he's the DJ there.
And what happened at the at yesterday?
Joe Barrett.
Somebody talked to you for a good 15 minutes before they realized you weren't Bobby?
Guy Pete. I walked in, he thought I was Bob. Oh, then you're on the radio.
Susan has already texted me and said, stop yelling at Billy.
Yeah,
you're
very upset. Too critical, man.
Critical?
Yeah, you get it was a Freudian slip. I said I had it backwards. Like
it's not that you slipped. It's that we just talked about it.
It's Sunday morning, man. He's up.
Pay attention.
Susan, I'm going to have you in the studio next.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going to be sitting home.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting show. You guys could do a tribute show on all the things that drive you crazy.
Hey, by the way,
Thompson.
Toronto's 45-41. That's not a pushover.
No, they're no slouch.
And they got a good offensive lineup.
How about this?
How about
By
that?
the way,
Then they
Kyle
gotta go to-
Gibson isn't the only Phillies player that's not vaccinated.
That's right.
So that's why I am. Okay, do you know the difference between anxious and eager?
The difference between anxious and eager. Yes.
Okay, what's the difference?
Anxious is somebody that's like almost like has like an ADD up to him, like inability to
All right.
remain calm.
This is your definition.
Inability to remain calm.
Okay, and eager?
You're a go-getter.
The
If you're eager to
difference-
do something, you're a go-getter.
It's as simple as this. The difference between anxious and eager, one has a positive connotation, one has a negative connotation. What does that mean?
I thought you were asking for
I'm eager to get my lunch when this show is done and stuff my face. I'm anxious to get my test results back from the doctor. Do you understand the difference?
I understand.
So what I wanted to say to you,
condescends to me.
no, that's not condescending. I'm teaching. It's a teachable moment here for vocabulary.
You're teaching me, Pete.
Yeah, Billy Malaprop. I'm trying to teach you to stay on path.
Okay.
But no, my point is that I'm very anxious to see who the Phillies, what they're, who can't play, because that hasn't come out yet.
I'm not as upset about the vaccination status of some players than you are.
I wasn't upset about it.
You just said you had no patience for that stuff.
No. Last year I had no patience for it.
Yeah, because I'm not.
But if a guy comes out and says that he has a legitimate reason for not doing it, and it's not like religious,
I'm personal freedom. If you don't want to get it, I'm not going to judge you because if you don't want something in your body, that's your choice.
I agree with that, but I also think that throughout the pandemic, I saw people who were in the hospital in the ICU and damn near died when all they had to do was get a shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I had COVID, and it was pretty bad.
Who didn't? Vince? Vince says he didn't.
Vince did not.
Well,
you have a shot?
Wait, Vince, get on the damn mic.
All right, let's bring Vince in.
Yes.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're in.
All right.
So you said, this is Vince.
This is Vince Tooley, our intern.
Told you he'd be making his debut on the show today. I run the buttons.
I mean, I had to get
I'll start ripping you.
I'll tell you. You saw what I did with Josh last week.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't put up with anything Josh was dishing out.
Yeah, I had to get the shot for Temple.
Yeah,
I couldn't go.
You couldn't go to college.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
hey, Vince worked with our lovely Lindsay.
Oh, shout out to
Mopper.
Lindsay Mopper.
Who's our intern here from Temple?
No, you came from Ocean City today, but if you were coming from Collingswood, when you drive down Tilton Road to come to the station here, on the left side where Beacon Bikes used to be, that bike shop, the people that bought it are like Moppet something, and it's the same spelling, and every time I see it, well, whatever, Moppert. It's Moppert. It's the same spelling of her last name.
Okay.
So whoever bought that building and whatever that business is going to be, then every time we're going to be thinking of the lovely Lindsay, who's going to be way more famous than any of the three of us.
No, I don't know.
By the way.
Vince is a Temple grad. He's on his way. And
we produce just accept
my intern and producers. They all go on to bigger and better things than me.
Yes, that's the
Hunter Brody,
right?
Right.
He was your intern.
Yeah,
that's
not my intern.
He's
my first producer.
Yeah, that's right.
That was his first job.
I know.
So,
and he's got a pretty good job. Coming up.
He learned right here in the locker room.
Sure, that's your story, and you're sticking to it. Got any commercials to read over there so we can get Tommy Greene on?
That's a good producer. Make me aware of the commercial schedule.
Yes.
All right.
Start talking.
First hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Of course, Pete, you know that they're celebrating 30 years.
Yeah, Surety, great company, great legacy company down here.
Just want to remind people to follow me on Instagram at LockerRoom973 and on Twitter at LockerRoom973. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati the Mainline. Located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the Spitty Ghibli mid-size sedan of the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati the Mainline also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati the Mainline offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll go on the mound with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. Hey,
A Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper, and you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. Love your results or your money back. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Sunday morning, the sun's out. PT, Billy Schwein.
Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out. The next guy's got guns. That's for sure.
Between the two of us, do we have like a cap gun or what do we have? little pop gun, you know. Remember those red things with the little 5, you know, you put those in? Jeez.
Tommy Greene, man, he's
the best.
He's svelte.
What are you talking
works
about?
out.
He looks like he could go out.
He
and
looks
still
like
pitch.
he could still pitch a
Of
shutout.
course,
Like
we're not an orthopedic surgeon, and we're not looking at his shoulders.
1991 when he threw that no hitter.
It's the best.
It's the Montreal Expo.
Hell of a golfer too.
Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome in to the locker room, Tommy Greene.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
All right, T. Greene. I was down in your neck of the woods last night. I was in Wildwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you were down there with the.
Yeah, went down to the inlet. Went down to the inlet last night.
You're getting thumbs up by the. You're getting thumbs up by the better half right now. She's listening to you.
We love the better half, the beautiful and talented Wendy Darling. We love that lady.
So,
yeah, she's great.
Let's start off with this, T. Greene. And by the way, this is On the Mound segment with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment. We got to get Tommy in there, Bill.
Yeah,
Tommy and I have to go in and use the simulator and get a session in with Aaron. That may be like we're having so much fun this summer. That may be like a September sort of thing.
Let's start off with this, T. Greene, because you're a former pitcher. Why are the Phillies pitchers? What is the big reason for their turnaround?
Well, I just think over the course of a season, you have ebbs and flows and things. And the way this season started out, sort of behind the 8 ball a little bit for the pitchers. They're starting, trying to rush to get ready and that type of thing. It's a tough thing to get in rhythm. I think they got a rhythm. They figured themselves out a little bit. Each person's got a thing they have to go through to figure it out, and all of them sort of went through that. And now it's kind of coming together where they're playing as a team. Is there any one reason? No, I just think they're playing a little bit more consistent baseball. The more they played, the more they figured themselves out. Because it's not that easy. They make it look easy sometimes, but it's not that easy to do what they do. On that type of consistent basis. So, being an ex-pitcher, I get it. And it's tough to be that consistent. That's the difference between big league guys and that stay there for a long time and the guys that doesn't. So they're pitching good baseball right now, giving us and giving us a chance to win ball games with one swing of the bat.
Tommy, is it because of that they under Joe Girardi they were much tighter? Maybe there was more pressure on them coming from a Joe Girardi manager than Robbie Thompson?
I don't buy into all of that. I put when teams don't play good, I put it on players. Bottom line, they got to go out and throw it, hit it, and catch it. And the manager can't do that for them. Now he can put guys into pitch that may say the speaker may be a little hotter than others, but it's not the manager's issue. It's the players' issues that are out there playing. So that's the way I feel about that situation. Can it get a little detrimental if the relationships and stuff in the air in the clubhouse is bad? I've been under some situations where you knew managers probably were going to get fired, but still they didn't change the way we went out there when the bell rang and played the ball game. But you can feel in the clubhouse. But see, I wasn't privy to being in that clubhouse, so it's hard to vouch and say what was going on there when Joe was there. So
Tommy Greene's with us on the Maserati, the Mainline hotline, and he's our guest here for the weekly On the Mound segment with Tommy Greene. So we're talking about Kyle Gibson. The one thing, Tommy, is it's as easy as this. He kept the ball in the park, right? His last start was that crazy start where he had 4 consecutive home runs by Nolan Arenado, Nolan Gorman, Yepez, and Dylan Carson. It's almost the theory of there's nowhere to go but up, right? He had to improve.
Well, and the key to him is that sinker ball is being down in the zone where it doesn't get elevated. When he starts getting elevated, that means he's flat. He's doing a little something that he's got to correct on the fly. And see, they jumped on him all in one inning. That his last start, not this past start, but not yesterday, but the time before.
Yep.
And sometimes you got to be your own best pitching coach out there. You got to figure out on the fly what's going on a little bit. And but he got sort of ambushed a little bit when some balls got up in the zone a little bit and they took advantage of it. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the other team for taking advantage of them. And could they have pulled and popped them up or pulled them foul or something like that? Yeah, that happens like that all the time. But they didn't miss them that day. But the key to Kyle is obviously his sinker and his command of his sinker down in the zone. Because if he lives down there, he's going to get a lot of ground balls and keep it in the yard.
I think a big reason for the turnaround in the bullpen, Tommy, has been established roles. I've heard Ricky talk about that. I've heard you talk about that before, that players like established roles. I also think that, they're just pitching better. And I'd like to know your thoughts on two guys in the bullpen. One, Sir Anthony Dominguez and his 1.69 ERA. I mean, that guy is filthy. And two, Jose Alvarado went down to the minors and could have folded up like a tent. And instead, he's come back and become almost unhittable.
Well, that's the guy we thought we're getting from Tampa. When we got him, we knew he had a big arm. It was all about his health. Obviously, it looks like he's healthy now. He just, with a guy that throws that hard, that effort of a guy, command can be an issue at times. And I think they really, when he went down, was. The key thought was him. You're not thinking about throwing hard. Just thinking you're commanding what you do. You're thinking about throwing quality strikes. And when he does that, he is unhittable. He doesn't have to throw strikes later in the camp because he's up. He was always falling behind guys, when he was coming in. And that's an issue for every pitcher. If you fall behind guys, you're walking a tightrope. You're playing a dangerous game. You on a consistent basis. If you're doing that, you're setting yourself up to become a track star on backup basis. So. But he's come. From the start of the year to now, he's become he's getting to be a trusted asset down there, for him. And that's a good thing to have. And Sir Anthony Dominguez, on the other hand, it's such a great thing to see, when he first broke into the big leagues, to see that arm and it come through our system and have success like he was doing. And then he got hurt and had to go through Tommy John and all the rehab. And then you're waiting to see how he's coming off that. Yeah, we knew his arm was okay. His power was still playing. He's still gaining. He's back up to where he was, I think. But, the thing is about command. It's about the command of his pitches. And that's what I was waiting to see. But I'll tell you, right from the start this year, he's commanded what he's done. He comes in and pounds the zone with strikes. You don't see him messing around. He's went to a two-seamer more. And he gets that late run. He's got late life on that ball. He gets a lot of ground balls and stuff, which is awesome. He challenges hitters with his assortment of pitches. It's not just his fastball, but he does challenge them with him. But his secondary pitches he throws too for strikes. So that's a credit to him, man. He's put into work and effort. It's good to see him have that success.
We're talking with Tommy Greene on the Mound segment every Sunday. Tommy, confidence is a big thing, especially with relief pitchers. When they have confidence, it seems like pitchers always get the stereotype, especially relievers, that they're a little strange. But how much does confidence come into play?
Well, I tell you hit the nail on the head talking about strange, because you got to be a little messed up sometimes. I think to pitch in the pen, especially closers. Closers got to have something about them, but. Confidence is a huge thing, and being a reliever, I did a little bit of it when I first come over, from the Braves, but you sort of got to figure out your body, what makes it tick and what makes it recover and what you need to do to get ready every day to compete without overdoing yourself every day. You know what I mean? So you're trying to find that happy medium that keeps you going, but relievers it's the gray matter. A lot of us, it's the stuff upstairs. You can't let that get in the way of you, because you have to have a short memory, because you can pitch today and not pitch that well, give up a run that costs the tie ball game to take you out, but the next day you might be right back in there. You can't dwell on what happened yesterday. You got to move forward today. You learn from what you did yesterday. You might have fell behind in the count and you had to come to the guy and he got the base hit. And you're working on, hey, I got to get ahead of guys, but I got to throw quality strikes. And that's what you're working on, the daily process, mentally and physically, to do those things. So relieving's a tough job, man. Because you can give up a couple of runs one week, and your ERA shoots up, and and it takes a little bit to get it down. You got to go some outings where you don't give up anything to start getting that ERA back down. That's just the way it goes. So you can't go by that kind of stuff all the time to know how a guy's pitching. He might have one rough outing, then put together like 8 to 10 great outings. So I mean, it's that type of thing, and we've done that with this crew now. They're pitching great ball. I hate talking about them because I don't want to jinx them, because I'm superstitious like that. So.
Yeah, don't worry. You won't be the jinx. Tommy Greene with us. Well, we talk about pitching with you, T. Greene, so much, and this is my last question for you. But I do have to acknowledge, Kyle Schwarber and what he's done with the bat. Yeah. I mean, it helps you as a pitcher when you basically have the modern-day version of Babe Ruth on the other side. I heard Mike McGarry on Friday tell Mike Gill that the frequency that Schwarber was hitting home runs at one pace in June was even more than Babe Ruth at one. And I thought, geez, if you're in a sentence with Babe Ruth, you're clubbing him.
27.
Well, I tell you what, he's a dangerous guy. I mean, because he's got power to spare. He doesn't have to hit it on the barrel to hit it, out of the ballpark. I just think, I think the key to him, when I see see him swing the bat, it's all about him, putting a good swing on it. It's not him trying to lift or do anything. He just wants to hit it hard. If he hits it hard, he can hit it out on a line anywhere, or he can pop it up and it'll go out because he can miss balls. And he's just that strong with his swing. He's just a big, strong dude, man, And I mean, it's good to have that in your lineup because you're never out of with him up there, one swing of the bat, you're back in a ballgame.
Tommy, one last question for you. At the trade deadline, what would you be inclined to do? Add a starting pitcher or a bullpen?
I look at it. I haven't really given it a lot of thought right now, but I'm looking at the starting staff, and the back end of it. They got to have some guys that are solid, they don't have to be great. They got to be solid. Right now, they don't know what they got with 2 guys hurt, right. So they got to figure that out, hopefully. And I'll tell you what, it's been great to see the guys step up that they brought in and do a decent job and give us a chance to win. And that's what it's all about. It's got to be an organizational team effort. So.
All right, Tommy Greene, as we do each and every Sunday, we go on the mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment. By the way, you asked him pitcher, starting or bullpen.
Right.
You failed to mention maybe a center fielder, too. That's a possibility, too. Maybe we're not even talking pitching. But, yeah, Tommy Greene's been our guest here on the Maserati, the Mainline Hotline, accompanied by the best passenger ever, the lovely and talented Wendy Darling. He's been our guest as he is each Sunday here on the mound with Tommy Greene. And safe travels back from the lovely beaches there, Tommy. Take care, bud. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
There he is, Tommy
Greene. T. Greene.
Maserati, the Mainline.
Even heard Wendy a little bit in the background there.
All right. The first hour of the locker room was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchase. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey, PA. That's Surety Title. Hey, just give my friend Ron Conklin a call, 856-988-8900. Just about everybody on the area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Where you are their private business network they call the Legacy Club. Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Of course, they're going to be at the pool, or they're going to be coming. The Jersey Man is coming to Atlantic City in July, and I'll have the exact date.
All right, let me know.
I'll look it up.
I'll come over.
This break.
Yeah.
All right. Want to remind people to check me out on Instagram. Follow me at LockerRoom973 and on Twitter at LockerRoom973. When we return, we'll wrap up hour number 1. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
The best way to wake up is with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
But that's only at Springfield, Mitsubishi, Atlantic City. And they got that credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit. 25 grand with only one dime down. Even the new Outlander with third row seating? Yes, sir. The all-new Springfield, Mitsubishi, Atlantic City in Pleasantville. They service all makes and models. Springfield, Mitsubishi, AC.com. Springfield, Mitsubishi, AC.com. New 22 Mirage, 16.4, dime down, $249 a month for 72 months at 3% APR plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson. I love the segment, Pete, with Tommy Greene, man.
It's always a fun thing to look forward to on Sundays. We're very thankful to Aaron Bada and Golf and Sports Performance Club for sponsoring that segment. GSFitness.com. Aaron's a great guy, too. And, Tommy and I share our shared passion for golf and watching golf and all that and playing golf. And, I hope to be able to tee it up with him again. Tee it up with T Degree.
Tee it up with T. I don't know until I get my knee fixed, man.
You're done. Yeah, that's fine.
I stink.
That's fine.
I stink.
Well, I gave you a choice, man.
I got to get down to
shout out to my guy, Fred Dalzell. I gave you a choice on who to go to.
I stink.
Nobody's better than Dr. Dalzell.
Hey, Vince, the intern. Are you good at golf?
I mean, I golfed in high school.
Vince would smoke you.
I stink. By the way,
but that's the point. If Vince played golf in high school and he was actually on the golf team.
Let me ask you a question. When did you start playing golf? When did you pick up clubs? How old were you?
Like 12. I
didn't start golfing until I was 35.
Well, but that's all right.
You know how I started golfing, Vince?
When?
The Tockett, Mellenby, Prop, all the boys, Chief, they said, Schweiner, if you want to hang out with us, you got to pick up, because they always invite me to go golf. I said, I don't golf. He said, Schweiner, if you want to hang out with the boys, you better pick up a pair of clubs.
I mean, you can just drink and smoke stogies all day.
Nah, you got to play, man.
You can, but who cares?
Nah,
where did you go to high school?
I went to Pope John Paul II in Royersford, PA.
Okay, and you were on the golf team.
I was on the golf team.
Like what number did you? What were you? Were like 1 or 2? Or?
I was the number. Well, my junior year I was number 5. My senior year I was number 3.
Now it's interesting. I always ask that, Billy. You may not know this story, but I was a good enough golfer in high school that I had the chance. I made the golf team.
Right.
But the coach said, like, look, you're the 5th guy, and the way that works is they only count 4 scores.
So you play.
So you play, right? But then you also each week, like, the 1, the 2, the 3 were pretty set. But each week, like 1, 2, 3 were set. 4, 5, 6, 7, like maybe those guys, they were all basically, you're trying to play your way
into the starting
to be the
rotation,
4th guy for the match or to be the 5th guy for the match. And if you won like the practice match against your teammate, then you could be the 5th guy. I don't know if that's how it worked at your place.
I think I think it's changed a little bit because varsity would have 8 guys against whoever we were playing. They would have their 8 guys,
right?
And they would take the top 5 scores from every match.
Just no matter what. Okay.
Whoever, if your 8th guy got the second best score, you're taking his score because that counts.
Interesting.
I'm just getting so frustrated because
golf was in the fall
golf's in the fall
in Pennsylvania. Yep. Golf is in the spring in
All right, hour 1 in the books. Time flies when you're having fun.
Are we having fun?
I'm just getting calls from my guys down in Wildwood. They're listening to the show.
Who's that?
T-Bone.
T-Bone? You know his name yet?
Jimmy Reardon. Joe Hatman, the Hatman Barrett.
Joey the Hatman.
Paul Ramagano.
Man, you're making me sad. I just thought of Tony Sirico.
Paul Ramagano played drums for Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers.
Oh, yeah? I'm not your man.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not your man.
All right, hour 2, we'll talk Flyers hockey. We'll talk Sixers basketball. And
then
we
got to talk about the Harden deal.
And then, of course, we're going to talk to Don Rankin, who's going to be doing the Bend to the Shore tour in honor of fallen lifeguard Norman Inferrera, Cape May lifeguard who lost his life on duty. So
I'm glad to highlight that.
All that and more. Stay with us. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Hey, I'm Pete Thompson.
Listening. WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a town square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Red 83.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Philly.
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, PT, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, your new intern, Vince Tooley's in here with us today.
Vince.
Oh, Vince.
Don't call him my cousin Mitty.
Hey, that's a great movie. By the way, PT,
Two Utes.
I saw Top Gun.
Oh, fine.
During the it rained last week. I had the doopy doo down.
Where'd you see
On
it?
Thursday, it was pouring rain, right?
Yeah, where'd you see it?
At the in the Regal on the Pike.
Wow. I wanted you to go.
Yeah,
to
I know,
Tilton
but they were
Square
sold
and
out.
See it in IMAX.
Sold
or
out.
See it in a recliner.
Sold
you know
out.
What I mean?
Sold out.
Oh, it's still
We
popular.
decided the last minute to go.
I'm surprised you didn't take her to the Minions.
She did. She went to the Minions with Colin and Cody, my nephews.
Oh, okay. The Rise of Gru is kicking Lightyear's butt.
Yeah.
That Disney Pixar thought they were going to have a big winner with Lightyear, like the origin story of Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
And guess what? Those little yellow guys just knocked him out of the building.
Kids love it.
Yeah.
But I was really, I
So
really
do
liked
parents.
the Top Gun. The only thing is, if I could be a little.
Are you going to plot spoil here? Or?
Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah.
Nah, go ahead.
No. I should. Well, I was just there was a certain element of the movie that was just like I like movies when I like them to be like real, like from all those guys that live through the.
You were in the service, so you understand, right? Or
Yeah,
you know people in the service, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you have
know
to
what I mean?
suspend belief on that.
Right, I know, but I don't want to give it. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it.
Let's
You know what I
just,
do? You
let's
know
just
what I
say
mean?
this. First of all, did you think it was better than the original?
I thought it was as good.
Okay.
Because because let's face
Right,
it,
a lot of times the sequels
the
are bad.
sequels are
Yeah.
not as good.
So
I thought it was as good,
if not better. I also thought the action sequences were way better.
Absolutely.
You go back and watch the original.
You saw them in
again,
IMAX, though.
there's
I heard it was 10 times
it's
better. in IMAX.
unbelievable.
Right.
But I mean, what they can do and where they can put cameras today,
Right.
that's the difference.
You know what I really
You know?
loved about it, about the realness of the G-force. You can see it in their faces. They were
100%.
And
Yeah.
Tom Cruise comes out in the beginning of the film and says, "We did this as real as possible. I hope you enjoy the authenticity of it."
Oh, very much so.
You can see
Yeah.
it in their face, the G-force.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was
absolutely. I
like
understand what
that
G-force
was
is. Yeah,
that was
yeah.
great.
When their face looks like silly putty and like their cheeks are going back.
So I've been on. You know,
I think everybody on the like all the main actors. I think every one of them Euchreeville. You know, every one of them. I mean, that was the point at some point.
So I've been on. You know those long boats, those Donzies, the fast speedboats. You see
Okay.
out in the ocean every once in a while. You're
Okay.
never on the beach.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember
A buddy of
cigarette
mine years
boats
ago
and what
had one.
those
His
were.
name was Frank
You
Devon.
know, or Miss Marlboro. I
Avant-
remember her.
Well, yeah, his boat went like 80 knots, I think. I mean, I was on this boat. You had to wear goggles. Your face got blown back and your cheek. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Plus,
and
you're
that's what it
eating the
looked
bugs.
like. Yeah,
You know.
you're spitting bugs
Right.
out.
You don't want to be eating the greenheads.
But real and I think the part with Val Kilmer was so.
It was very
the way
touching.
very
Yes,
touching.
Yes, it's
I
good.
got
It's
a
very
little
cool
welled
that
up.
he's in the movie.
I always get welled
Yeah,
up.
of course you do. Yeah, but no, I thought it was as good, if not better. Now,
Yo, Vince,
you're how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, so do you have any reference to the first Top Gun at all?
So I've been saying it for weeks now. I have to go see the first Top Gun.
Oh, you
Right.
you have
go
to see that first.
Right, I would agree with
Because
that.
so many of my friends have seen the first Top Gun and have gone and said, "Oh my God, this Top Gun is as good as the first one." So
Yeah.
they're really hyping it up.
It's
But,
definitely worth. I mean, you
yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
have
but
to see
I
the
would see
first
the
one.
first.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's on
Yeah.
a streaming
It was on the
service.
other
It's on
day.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Or it's on
TV the
Paramount.
other
or-
day.
I don't want
It's
to
out
pirate
there.
it. You know.
Well, no, I mean you're not going to see the first one in the theater.
No, no.
I'm
I
talking-
thought you meant the second
I'm talking
one.
about
Yeah,
the first
one.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Well, I did see the Elvis movie.
Oh, okay.
Love that.
I heard
I didn't see
with
that
Tom Hanks plays Colonel Parker.
Yeah, yeah.
Baz Luhrmann directed it, and the kid that plays Elvis is
Unreal.
supposed to be like,
Oh
Is
my
that right?
God.
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean,
he was Austin
yeah,
Butler. He
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Really?
It was awesome.
I have not been to the movies a lot, obviously, since the COVID ended. I just haven't gotten back into it, but I will because I love the movie theater.
Me too.
It's a great place to escape reality.
You know, Mike Gill.
What do you all know about reality?
Owns the studio, so to speak, and is the host here Monday through Friday. He infamously has not been to the movies in like a decade or over a decade. In fact, the last movie he saw. Do you, Billy?
No. Why would I know?
I'm trying to look it up. The last movie that he saw was The People versus Larry Flint.
Oh my God.
For whatever reason, that's the last time he's been in a movie theater.
Let's turn our attention to the Philadelphia Flyers.
Just like to point out that that's 1996.
Wow. Let's turn our attention, Pete.
Bill Clinton was in office.
Let's turn our attention to the Philadelphia Flyers, okay?
It was the first year of the Wells Fargo Center. 1996.
Wachovia Center.
Actually, back then it was called the FU Center.
Yes,
the first
Union Center. Let's talk about the Flyers,
Pete.
Pete.
Go ahead. What do you want to know?
Big guys beat up on little guys.
Oh, gosh. Sealski's column is wrong guy, wrong time, wrong reason. Flyers trade for D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo is a mistake in every way. Once again, the franchise is making short-term moves when it needs long-term thinking. Plus, it now has the added risk of a player with a troubled past.
All right.
Mike Sealski.
So doesn't everybody in this country get a second and third chance?
I think
if
so.
Baseball teams like the Braves and the Phillies going to put up with guys that have domestic violence on the NFL's letting Watson in, all of a sudden this guy's he's like persona non grata.
Well, Watson's not in yet, but Cleveland did make the move for him. Look, D'Angelo's from here.
I'm not part of the cancel culture.
Neither am I.
All right. Let's give the guy a fair chance here.
This column is giving him no chance.
That's right.
But here's the deal. Ryan Ellis, that's a big question mark. Okay,
whether it is.
Whether or not Ryan Ellis is ever going to be able to come back.
The Flyers need help. They got to gamble, right?
This is a guy that can be their quarterback on the power play.
That's right.
Offensive-minded defenseman who, if he can resolve his issues, and look, Dorothy said it in The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home.
Right.
Right. I mean, I'm hoping that they get the best of this guy.
Someone told me a little
birdie.
A little birdie said that he's coming back home. He's going to be, back in his familiar settings with family members around. That might not help him.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, so I'm promoting home as a place that will help him, and you're saying home might.
Well, I'm not saying it. Someone else is saying it.
Okay.
I'm not going to reveal that source.
Well, we're gonna find out. I mean, but
let me ask you a question. What do you think about the acquisition of D'Angelo?
I was okay with it because I think that they don't know the future of Ryan Ellis, and I think that they needed a guy who could come in and provide some attitude, some grit, and basically quarterback that power play. And that's what this is, an established NHL defenseman. I read in the first hour of the show how Sam Carchidi said that they went with Gauthier because they knew, or that must speak volumes about the fact that they didn't go with David Jiricek. Well, David Jiricek might turn out to be the next Cale Makar. We don't know that at this point. But what we do know is the Flyers need an actual NHL defenseman this season. Like, if Ellis can't play, they need a guy, and this guy can come in and quarterback the power play.
10 goals. What do you have? 10 goals, 41 assists.
Yeah.
64 points.
I mean,
he's an all-star.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. He's had pluses and minuses in the places that he's been, And I think the big thing is that people are upset because they gave up 3 draft picks, a second rounder in 2024, a third rounder, and a fourth rounder in this current 2022 draft. And the idea is like, hey, if you're supposed to be rebuilding, you're not supposed to be shipping out all these picks. But
plus 32. I was going to call you Chief. He's a plus 30.
The guy, you know what he is? He's a much better version of Shane Gostisbehere,
right?
Okay, and he actually won't have any drop off. I mean,
26-year-old, so maybe he grew up, maybe he got mature. Look, he's had some indiscretions.
I mean, one of the reasons that he was,
I'm a wait and see.
In New York, part of the problem was he was very loud about his support for Donald Trump,
right?
And that didn't go over well in the locker room, But I mean,
people are getting fired from their jobs for supporting Trump, right?
I guess. I mean, not me, but I guess.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, there's but he's
had.
He's
I
had
need to reach out to.
Apparently, he's had some racial
connect
things
with
too.
David Quinn because I know Quinny.
Yeah.
Right. And he was the Rangers coach when he had to bench him twice for like on-air outbursts. Here's the biggest thing. And this is the thing. He even referenced this in his Welcome to Philadelphia press conference. He got in a fight with Grigoriev, the goaltender.
Right.
He insulted Grigoriev during the game, said something to him, and then they got in a fist fight. Your own teammates are fighting with each other. That probably helped get Quinn fired.
The Hurricanes, we got him in exchange for the 2024 second-round pick and a 2024 third-round pick and a fourth-round pick in this draft. Is that too much?
Well, that's what people are saying is that, you're supposed to be rebuilding and restocking the franchise, and yet you go out and give up 3 draft picks for not a star. You go out and give it up for a guy that's.
So do you like it? Do you like the move?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that
you're on record as you like it.
Yes.
I like it too.
I think we're going to get the best version of Tony DeAngelo. Okay. I'm cautiously optimistic that we get the best version of Tony.
I've had
and as a lot of, and I said this in the first hour, he had 10 goals, 51 points last season, plus 30.
Right.
The fact that he's coming, does that also signal? Did you not watch some of the draft? Did you not hear Kevin Weeks that they quickly slipped in real quick something about are the Flyers getting Johnny Gaudreau? And he said yes. I mean, that's like the world's worst kept secret that it hasn't happened yet.
They've been trying to get him.
Yeah.
All right. So my position is that the Flyers have to do something. Trader Chuck Fletcher. Last year when he made all the moves, we had him on the program.
Yeah.
Right after he made I was inspired by the fact that he did all those moves. It didn't work out. Now I'm not making excuses, but they had 8 injuries last year, Pete. Significant injuries to significant players.
Including Ryan Ellis was a big one, and Kevin Hayes was another one.
Right. Kevin Hayes lost his brother.
Right.
And then he got hurt.
Right. And couldn't stay on the ice.
Couturier,
and then guys went like what happened to TK last season?
Right.
Travis Konechny, where was he?
Well, that's because all those guys went down. And we had who do we the coach, the hockey coach. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Elaine Vigneault.
No, we had Barry Melrose on the show a couple weeks ago. And he said Travis Konechny should be a 40-goal scorer.
Yeah. But
maybe because the loss of those guys affected him.
All I know is that they have nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? I think they were one of the worst teams in the league last year. They have to be held more accountable for their mistakes. I believe that Tortorella is going to hold them accountable for their mistakes. I can't wait to see how this guy works this team. The initial headline was he's going to skate them till they puke. If you've ever watched the movie Miracle and you saw where Herbie Brooks came in, and Mike Keenan once did it famously too. Proper and both, I think Tim Kerr both tell the story about how they came back, they had lost, and they were going into like Christmas break.
Right.
And they came back, and usually like they would like celebrate a little bit, and then no, he came back and he skated them when they got back to the arena. He skated them for like 2 hours and just worked the heck out of him because he was so upset with their performance on the loss.
A good coach has players that he can rely on, count on, and then he also has players that he pushes and they probably despise him. So they get a good mix of a yin and yang, if you will, in the locker room. Players that hate him, players that like him.
I mean, and look at it like this.
Tocchet,
as far as
Zezel,
DeAngelo, no, they all hated him.
They hated him.
All the players hated him.
But there were Hal, there were his boy.
That bonded him together.
Right.
Like that bonded those guys together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Derek Smith, Peter Zezel, Rick Tocchet, all the young guys, right?
Mellenby,
Scott Mellenby, all those guys.
Scooter.
Their mutual hate of Keenan then bonded them together to play harder. Like we're going to show this.
Right.
Bleepity blank.
Well, let's hope that Tortorella has that same maybe type of.
I think Tortorella gets a bad rap. I think at the end of the day, we love to look up his YouTube outbursts and stuff. I think he's very simple.
How's it going to play with the Philadelphia media?
Oh, it's going to be great. I can't wait till the first time that there's an F-bomb or an S-bomb on Flyers postgame live.
All right.
Poor Taryn Hatcher. She's going to be like, oh.
All right, the second hour of the locker was brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf. Hey, they're doing tons of renovations, a new outdoor patio overlooking the first tee with fire pits, new sound system and landscaping. They're working on a big deck outside overlooking the 18th green for entertainment. They have entertainment out there. Of course, if you want to book a wedding, they have an award-winning culinary banquet staff, customized menus, seating up to 250. Book now for a wedding in 2023. Social memberships are now available. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, Radio, Ron Ralston, Ryan Owen,
The best.
Kevin Kelly down there. It's like family when you show up down there.
I see Kevin every time I pull in.
All right, My Winter Watchdog.
Arr, 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 arr.
Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know,
The voice of the dog provided by
Pete Thompson. All right. Have you know those worrisome thoughts that creep in your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road, or if you're away for the winter? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. Don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog. Also want to remind people to follow me on Instagram at LockerRoom973 and on Twitter at LockerRoom973. When we return, we'll continue with more here in the Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
daily basis for overall good health and wellness.
And Navage is all natural and drug-free at Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
We're back here in The Locker Room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. The intern Vince is with us. And you wanted to comment on Gauthier.
Well, yeah, we were talking about the Flyers.
Couturier and Gauthier.
Yeah, it's all IER is French-Canadian, right? William Cutter Gauthier, by the way, his first name isn't Cutter. He goes by his middle name, okay?
Yeah, but Cutter's he sounds like a villain already.
It's great, man. He's got Swedish ties. Cutter's a Swedish name. He's the son of Sean Gauthier, and he was born when Sean Gauthier, at one point, Sean Gauthier played in the Flyers farm system. He actually played for the Reading Royals. That was 01-02. And that's when Sean Gauthier met Cutter's mother, and the rest, as they say, is history. So
let's talk a little 76ers because, hey, how about the intern comes in on his very first time in the studio, starts giving Josh Henning a bunch of crap.
Oh, yeah.
Gets into it about the PJ Tucker deal.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Listen, look, it's not –
we like it.
Okay.
Listen, I like it too.
I'm not.
I like it too, Vince.
So
I know.
Josh does not like it.
No, Josh does like it.
I like it.
I'm trying to convince 40-year-old PJ Tucker in 3 years.
Yeah, but you gotta. They need that type of player on that team. Who else you got?
You sign him for a 1-year deal.
Well,
you don't give him 3 years. He's going to be 40.
Well, they always overpay NBA players. You know that.
Yeah, but you could sign him for a 1-year deal for cheap, or you could pay him the same. You can pay him for $10 million for 1 year. You don't need him all. He's done that. He went to the Bucks,
right?
Then he went to the Heat. Now he goes to the Sixers. If the Sixers like him, you can just re-sign him.
I mean, it's very simple. Okay, so that's a valid point.
That is a
he got
valid point.
3 years, $33 million, but they weren't going to get him on a 1-year deal.
Right.
That's when you're 37, you're looking for your last big guaranteed contract.
Yeah, my thing is, what if he ends up like an Al Horford?
And you know,
that's a what if that happens with anybody.
But we thought that Al Horford was going to be the man.
I like the way he played last year, and I believe that this team needs a guy like PJ Tucker.
I 1,000% agree with that. I think the 3 years was just
nobody in the organization cares what you think. You know what they care about? Their star, Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid called out and said during the playoffs, "We need a guy like that."
According to The Athletic, James Harden is going to re-sign for $15 million less than he could have gotten. Is this a show? Is this a show of commitment that from him that he's willing to stay and iron out his issues and get healthy and be productive as a Sixer, Pete?
I mean, look, we don't know what his issues were. We don't know how healthy he was last year. They never fully had time to gel. If you drank the Kool-Aid at the beginning, you thought James Harden was the savior, and then and it was like Eastern Conference Finals or bust, and unfortunately, it was bust because I think Harden was injured. I think he lost a step. I don't think the step back move worked, but to me, this is the greatest thing I've seen a Philadelphia athlete or an NBA athlete do.
He's going to win the hearts and minds of Sixers fans. Taking a pay cut, that shows commitment.
Absolutely. A $50 million pay cut, it's basically a signal to the organization and the fan base of
organization.
I'm willing. He's not Canadian. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this team surrounded by winners. So we wouldn't even be talking about PJ Tucker if Harden didn't agree to take this pay cut. And Gil and I talked about this on Friday, by the way. He's still going to get paid. James Harden still has one more contract coming where and it's not like, so did you see what the money was he was going to make?
Yeah, but he did.
That's obscene.
So he averaged
$47.36 million. I understand he's one of the 75 greatest players of all time, but
what have you done for me lately? He's averaged 21 points, 10.5 assists while shooting a career low 32.6% on three-pointers in 21 regular seasons as a Sixer.
Yeah, but then
season games as a Sixer.
So he was only around for 21 games before the playoffs started. And when the playoffs started, he was even worse. Yes. 18.2, 7 assists against the Heat. It just, even Vince Tooley, our intern, will say, I think, he had lost a step, right? Like he wasn't the dangerous James Harden. Teams weren't afraid of him, and they certainly weren't afraid of blowing by.
Even his foul, Harden's free throw attempts decreased from 8.9 per game to a regular season to 6.3. in the playoffs.
My idea with
he wasn't even getting to the foul line.
My idea with it is that his hamstrings were shot.
Well, guess what? Hamstrings aren't easy to recover.
Yeah,
from.
And this is what I think is good for him. I think
he had a longer offseason now that they had the early out.
I think he needs that long offseason. I think he needs to, now that he's going to have a full summer with the team, it's not going to be 21 regular season games and then straight into the playoffs, and then Embiid is hurt in the playoffs. If Joel Embiid is healthy in the whole Heat series, the Sixers win that series.
Right.
And then who knows what would have happened from there. But Joel Embiid being out, kind of, James Harden is now your go-to guy in the playoffs. And we saw how that went because he's still getting adjusted to the team. And he wasn't fully healthy.
All right,
he wasn't.
Have either of you guys watched any of the summer league?
None of it.
At all?
None of it. I know Paul Reed. I was told by
Big Ball
Mike
Paul?
Carlin and Josh yesterday that he's been playing so well that he shouldn't even be there.
Well, and now that Keith Pompey has a story up today about the Serbian big man, Filip Petrusev, a former Gonzaga standout who's trying to make it in the NBA. He's only 6'11", 235.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I think, do you think, Pete, do you think James Harden will harden? Do you think James Harden? What are you laughing
You
at?
had all three there. You almost said Jeff Harding. Then you said James Harding.
Do you think James Harden? See, he starts doing it.
I can't not laugh. When you're malapropping, it's funny.
Do you think he'll come back healthy and have a successful year next year?
Yes, I will easily say that because I think that
Vince,
he's had
do
a
you
lot
think
of
so?
time
Absolutely.
to rest.
Absolutely.
I think
You know how hard it is. Sometimes
he'll be better than the
sometimes
Harden that you
hamstrings-
got in the playoffs.
Sometimes hamstrings don't heal.
I mean, if you have to be in a situation where you start to manage his time, I mean, you hate to admit this, but you remember early in his career that was something they did with Embiid. I hate the words load management, but it's the reality of the NBA now. And if that's something they need to do, look, what they need, do I think he'll come back better and stronger? Yes. Do I also think that they need to figure out, however they need to do it, they need to get the best James Harden in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The regular season doesn't mean
matter.
boo.
That's crazy.
You want home
People
court.
pay all that money.
You want to be a
for
top
those
four.
regular
You want a
season
top
tickets.
4 seed because you want the home court advantage. I do
exactly
believe in that. But there you go.
All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. They've made lots of renovations. They have a new outdoor patio overlooking the first tee with fire pits. It's very cool out there. New sound system and landscaping. They're working on a big outside deck with a view of the 18th green for entertainment, weddings, and a new underground cart bunk with bunkers, new bunkers, weddings. You could have a wedding there with an award-winning.
And weddings? You said weddings like 3 times already.
Listen, award-winning culinary staff. What is wrong with you today?
I'm just laughing when you,
you read,
all
read
right,
that.
all right,
You read
sure.
that. You read that.
So you have to get the paper to this side. Dan from EHT talks about the fact that the Sixers starting 5 are embarrassingly slow. Embiid is great. He's not a speed demon. Tucker and Harris are slow. This is set up for disaster, and Morey's love affair for depleted Harden is terrible. Okay.
Read that.
There are renovations at Great Bay Country Club. I've seen the new patio. I've seen the fire pits, new sound system, new landscaping, the brand new pro shop with fairway and green shirts, Johnny O, Doc Murphy, the renovated park room for dining. And yes, they do have weddings. There's social memberships available starting as low as $25 a month. Even you can afford that, Billy. Great Bay Country Club. Go down and see them.
For more information, go
There
to
you go.
greatbay.com
I
and give them a call. You're right. Give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for me, too. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli mid-size sedan or the Class Lena Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale. As Maserati, the main line offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi, Maserati, the main line, at RDS Auto Group at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime. at motml.com. Once again, want to remind people to follow me on Instagram at lockerroom973 and on Twitter at lockerroom973. When we return, we'll talk with Don Rankin. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Better than that first cup of coffee in the morning. It's Keyshawn.
Infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Now, more of The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in The Locker Room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson. Pete must have got out of bed on the wrong side, man.
No,
All he
I'm
does
in
is
a great
break my
mood, man. I'm
stones.
in a great
Like you're
mood.
perfect.
Oh, God, I never said I was.
You act like you are.
No. Listen, I mean, one of my favorite presidents was George W. Bush.
Right.
And he often butchered the English language. So it just means I love you when I hear you mess up these
So
words.
like when I said the Chief's wife, when we had Dominic in here, we had Craig Berube, I said, I
Right.
thought he hated my guts. And she said, no, that's his way of showing he has affection.
Exactly. You know, and I read one that made you laugh because I was looking up famous malaprop examples.
Right.
And this person said, I might just fade into Bolivia, like the country Bolivia.
Mike Tyson.
So you can imagine
So
that.
my teacher in
I might
school
just fade.
called
Like
me the
that
king
high
of,
voice.
He called me the king of malapropisms.
Your teacher did?
Yeah.
So when I brought that up the first time, this
Pretty
wasn't
accurate. Pretty
right.
accurate.
There you go.
All right. Hey, serious. Let's turn a little serious because right now we're on the line. We're going to go to Don Rankin to bring him up in a second. But Pete, he's doing a really good thing. Last year, Norman Inferrera was the Cape May City beach lifeguard on the beach patrol that lost his life on duty while training in the boats.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year, Don is going to participate in the 35th annual Bend to the Shore bike tour in honor of the fallen Cape May lifeguard in recognition of first responders who die in the line of duty.
Yeah, this is an outstanding cause. Again, you said 35 years. They've been doing this for a while. It's Philly to AC, or they even
65-mile trek.
Well, this is the best part too. They knew this year they've added the 30-mile Hamilton to AC. Like, hey, you don't feel up to 65?
Right.
You can still raise some money if you do the shorter segment. You know that you and me. What would we do? Like from the
10 miles.
No, we do the toll, man. We go from like that AC toll to like, oh my God, are we at the the walk yet?
There yet? All right, without any further ado, let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room former Wildwood Beach Patroller, lifeguard Don Rankin. Good morning, Don.
Hey, Billy, Pete, how are you guys?
All right, we're having fun here. It's a Sunday morning in the locker room, and Captain Ed Snyder made it clear to me, told me about what you're doing, and I thought it would be very nice to have you on to explain and also help raise money for this cause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's a good cause, the Bend to the Shore. It's put on by an organization called Families Behind the Badge, and as you said, it benefits first responders who have fallen or been injured in the line of work. Goes to help their families, medical expenses, whatever the case may be. So it's been going on. Fortunately for me, I have a lot of friends and family that have been in law enforcement and firemen and so on and so forth, and I'm lucky enough to say that no one's been injured or killed. So when this came up, I was like, well, who do I ride for? And I was starting to throw it out to Captain Ed, to see what he thought, being a Philly boy and all. And as I was doing, I was like, that Norman Inferrera, he's a good candidate to sponsor and honor. So that's how he got chosen.
And for people that don't know, Norman was a lifeguard in Cape May, and he was, practicing rowing in the boats, and he had an accident and lost his life. Listen, first responders, lifeguards have dangerous jobs. It's part of the territory.
They do. So Norman was 16-year-old not originally, but lived in Phoenixville. Lifelong dream to be a lifeguard in Cape May. Made it. It was his rookie year, and he actually wasn't even training. He was on duty, protecting people. He was protecting people when this unfortunate accident occurred. And people kind of overlook lifeguards as first responders, but if you think about it, if you're drowning, they're the first ones there. So they're responding before the police, before the firemen, before the ambulances, everybody. And, it's very, very dangerous, very dangerous. Just a few weeks even after Norman, you may recall, 4 lifeguards up in North Jersey were struck by lightning, and unfortunately one died from those injuries.
We're talking with Don Rankin a little bit about the Bend to the Shore tour, and we're talking also about the tragic loss of 16-year-old Norman Inferrera, the third, by the way, Billy. Yep. And what I want to ask is, and this came out immediately following that tragedy, but I'm a lifer down here, Don, and this Van Dyne boat is as iconic around the Jersey Shore as saltwater taffy and the seagulls eating your fries. You know what I mean? So
it absolutely is.
Where do you stand on? I mean, because there was a lot of blowback about like, oh, these Van Dyne boats, it's time to move on. And I'm sorry, I think they're the
essential.
best.
They're essential.
Yeah, so they're absolutely an essential tool in lifeguarding and in training. It's not any different. It's not really a sport, but if we look at it as a sport, you go to any football, baseball, hockey, whatever we want to talk about, and you go to the fundamentals. It's nice to say jet skis, this and that, but sometimes they don't apply. And in many ways, it builds teamwork, it builds strength, it builds discipline, character. Those boats, the races that the lifeguards have are integral in seeing how your patrol performs against another one, and as in any competition, it builds performance and again character. Correct. So I'm all for it, and there's even a thing going around. If you go to my Facebook page on the for the donation, you'll see that there's a little blurb on there. Norwood Road, because a lot of places are saying it's time to get rid of these boats, but I think that's absolutely the wrong thing to do.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned your Facebook page. You can go to the Bend to the Shore page at fbbcf.org to help these guys out and raise money for the event. It's the 35th annual Bend to the Shore bike tour, either 65 miles from Philly to AC or 30 miles Hamilton to AC. That's July 24th, coming fast. And we're talking with Don Rankin here. I just wanted to follow up with my question about the boat, Don, by discussing a little bit too about the fact you mentioned the lifeguard races. The rescue board, the boards are, they're used a lot more now. Like that's kind of like a lifeguard decision. Like what's the first thing? Am I going to run in the water with the can? Am I going to run in the water with the board? Like what's the best? But to the boat, the guard can stand up in the boat and be above the water level. Right. I mean, and they even acknowledged when this blowback came back that all these Jersey beaches that have the replenishment systems, you get these steeper beaches, and it's a different playing field.
It is. It absolutely is. And in North Wildwood right now, they're doing this whole beach replenishment, and it's created a situation there where there's like a double gully, so people can get themselves caught in situations. And again, the boats are good because often what they'll do is, if there's an incident going on, they're not going to say, "Oh, push the boat into the water." The boat will already be out on patrol, and then the situation would occur: does the lifeguard just go in on their own, with their can, or do they take a board out to go after one or more paddlers? But the boats are there in order to, I don't want to say like crowd control, but keep people from going too far. And you're right; they can look. They're looking at the beach from the opposite side, and they can stand up and sort of look down on them from the water side.
And of course, that's called laying off. I was a former lifeguard in Longport for a few years, as you were in Wildwood, and that technique is used when another thing, when there's big surf, these boards, some of the lifeguards get knocked off the wave, can't make it to the rescue victim. Right, so you need to get the boat through those big surfs, and there's get
the boat through those big surfs. That's right. And you got a big surf, multiple victims. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was helping Captain Ed. I was a victim in the training for the fire department, and those guys they're tired by the time they get there.
Yeah, yeah. All right, give us the information again, Don, on how people can donate and sponsor your effort.
So you can go to the Bend to the Shore website, look up my name, Donovan, Donoban, Rankin, Rankin, scroll to the page, and you can donate there. Or go to Facebook, same thing, just look me up, Donovan Rankin on Facebook, and I have a link. There's a QR code or a link. Either way, you can go in there, and anything that you can do, we'll be happy with, and spread the word. And I will be the only person riding for a lifeguard in this event. Of the over 2,000, everybody else, and rightly so, police, firemen, first responders, and so on. So I would like to show some support for our beach patrols. So anybody, whatever you can do would be great.
Absolutely. Now, during the summers, the Locker Room with Billy Schwein, we do comprehensive coverage of all the lifeguard races. Of course, last night, Avalon took the Cape May County Championships, and Longport won the Longport Mike McGrath Memorials. The summer's heating up, and so are the races.
McGrath had something to do with that.
Yeah, Mike McGrath. Yeah. And Mike McGrath and Sean Duffy won the doubles for Longport in the doubles race. So, Don, summer's here. We're going to support you, and good luck.
Billy P., thank you so much for all your efforts. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Don Rankin on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. I want to remind people the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. They have a lot of new renovations, new outdoor patio overlooking the first tee with fire pits, new sound system, a view of the 18th green for entertainment, new outside deck there. If you want to have a wedding, book a wedding. They have award-winning culinary banquet staff with customized menus, seating up to 275 people. Book now for 2023. Also, social memberships are now available. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in the area's heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But when you wear their private business network, they call the Legacy Club. Every month, they hold upscale events at private locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This weekend on Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
credit. Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, new intern Vince here's with us. Pete, you got this big, eating grin on your face. What's wrong with you today?
Hang on, let me start this again. Okay, here we go. These are going to be the words to today's. This is the theme for today's show. You ready?
Yeah.
Billy gets on the microphone, tries to say a word, but it's not the right one. He's Mr. Malaprop, and he doesn't know the right word for what he's trying to say. Billy Schwein makes me laugh often.
All right, stop it, Pete. Yeah, I can't believe he lives down here. Doesn't even go to the beach. How do you know about the beach patrol?
I lived in Margate, man, and I
go
covered the lifeguard races.
When's the last time you had your big toe in the water?
Which water?
The Atlantic Ocean.
I mean, I've been in the bay, I'm going over to I got friends
When's
staying.
the last time you had your big toe in the ocean?
Over there in Seaview.
Good Lord, you live down here at the shore.
I know, but nobody wants to see orca on the beach.
You're darn right, but when's the last time you had your big toe in the water?
Probably when I lived in Margate on a regular basis. I haven't lived in Margate since 2009. So
you
know what happened the last time you and I went to Margate. So, hey, come on now. Let's play by the rules here.
I posted a picture on my Instagram.
You did? Yeah, you did.
You watching any of the tennis, Wimbledon?
Yeah, I've been watching it all day. All day here.
You've had your back to it because you're talking into a microphone.
I've been looking at it every commercial break.
But when you're home, do you watch it?
No, God no. But I know that. Look, this is a good matchup for tennis. Djokovic and this Kyrgios from Australia, right? The Kyrgios guy, they used to hate each other, and rivalries are good for tennis.
That's right.
McEnroe,
Remember that?
Connors, right? I mean,
Bobby Riggs and
no, you had to go there.
Billie Jean King.
I would have gone with Chris Everett and Martina Navratilova, but I see where you're going. Look, rivalries are good, and right now Djokovic is up. It's on the mothership. You can see it everywhere and whatnot. It's just not.
Is that would Wimbledon be in your bucket list?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I've been to a Kentucky Derby. I've been to the Marlboro 500.
I wouldn't mind going to a Kentucky Derby.
I've been to Marlboro 500 in Fiona, California, which is Indy cars.
7 minutes left in the show, and you bring up the bucket list topic.
Why not?
There's places I'd like
Perfect
to go.
time to do it.
I'd like to go to the I'd like to go to the Masters during tournament play. I've been to a Wednesday practice round and the par 3 contest. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That's just. But
I've never been to a Final Four.
I've been to a Final Four.
I've been
to
at
a
Super Bowl, but I wasn't
Indiana.
in the game when the Eagles won.
I was at 2 Super Bowls.
Right?
Or no, 1 Super Bowl.
Of course you were.
No, I was at 2
for free, by the way.
2 Super Bowls.
We should point that out.
I'll give away all my secrets.
Vince, the intern, that Billy worked for U.S. Air for a long time, and he flew for free. If you flew for free, you'd go a lot more places.
I would be going everywhere.
I've
everywhere.
been everywhere.
Right. Billy was that Johnny Cash song. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
So I think I'd like to do Wimbledon.
Why?
I don't know, just to do it.
You want to wear white?
Yeah, I'll get dressed up.
You want to sit in the box?
Yeah,
dude, they would kick you out of center court so fast. Sir, you must be quiet, sir. The person would be trying to serve, and you'd hear. That's all you'd hear.
One thing I like to do is to go Kentucky Derby.
I got
dressed up for that. I had a tie. All right, nice cactus pants on.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
What year was that? Did you have the
80?
mint julep?
Yes, in the infield. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
what's in that? Is it like?
It was good.
I mean,
mint.
It's not mint.
Vodka, gin. I think it's a whole.
Here we
lot
go.
of stuff.
It's got bourbon, sugar, water,
a lot of sugar,
crushed or shaved ice, and fresh mint.
It's good.
But you taste the bourbon, right?
Yeah, you do.
So like as you're sipping it,
it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It wasn't overwhelming. Let's put it that way.
What's the difference?
When I got dressed up for that, I was right at the finish line.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What year was this
That's
again?
So 1980, 1990, 1989.
Google is so funny when you put stuff in sometimes. This is a question like
who won?
I could. You know what's so funny?
You
know how long ago that was?
You know who won?
I won.
Churchill Downs. The track won. Because Billy was
a
mess.
You mean, did I bet?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Dude, this is why I'm laughing at Google. This is a question you would put on Google. Is mint julep a girly drink? That's something that you would ask. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
This is why. Yeah, no,
You're
this
completely
is
wrong. You're so wrong. You've never been right.
This is you talking to Siri, like you do. You don't
What
even.
I do
You don't even type out
why
your
do you tell
text.
people what I do like 5 minutes before the show?
You're texting everybody these things.
Who won the Phillies game last night?
Right. Oh, you usually ask me when we're like 20 seconds coming back from break. And I'm like, I'm doing something over here. I'm a little busy right now.
See, we have fun in here, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time.
What were you busting on last week for? You couldn't name the 5 Philly starting pitchers?
Yeah.
Me?
No, he could. No. That was Brad.
Oh, yeah. Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah,
2
man.
hours just flying by.
How many innings you went out
I wanna
of
go.
Nick Nelson today?
I won 4.
Okay.
4 out of Nick.
Yeah, but you're only going to get 2. I think you're going to get 2 out of Nick Nelson. Then I think they're going to go to that Christopher.
So is Schwarber going to replace? Harper in the All-Star game?
No, that'd be awesome. I hope so.
That's what he should do.
Christopher Sanchez is the other name to remember today.
Want to thank Tommy Greene as always for our weekly segment on the mound with Tommy Greene. Don Rankin is going to be supporting Norman Inferrera. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with a Schweiner. Mike Gill in the Sports Bash Monday.
Yep.
With all the news. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Billy.
We'll
Everybody
see you next
have
week,
a great
everybody.
Sunday.
All right, bye-bye.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 on